Love a late show in Boston. Even when people in Boston are being as nice as they can possibly be, there's still just an air of alcohol and menace. No matter, you're at your absolute best. You're at your absolute best.
Love it or leave it.
Please welcome to the stage. She writes the chills that pays the bills. It's the otherworldly author, Gretchen Felker-Martin. Hi, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Right here. All right. Your book is called Cuckoo.
Yes.
Cuckoo tells the story of queer teens who are forced to attend a conversion camp where they must grapple with an ancient evil that seeks to destroy them. It's your first work of nonfiction.
That's right.
Now, you write body horror.
Yes.
Why does having a body have to be so horrible?
Man, I don't know, but I'd like a word with whoever made that call. I remember the first time I watched a David Cronenberg movie and I thought, why does this feel good? I guess I have to do this now.
Why do we have a fascination, you think, with body horror?
So my personal theory here is that everyone, to a greater or lesser extent, is in a protracted state of involuntary intimacy with their own body. You can't get away from that fucking thing.
Right.
And so the idea of it being distorted or injured or mutilated or transformed artistically becomes cathartic because we would like to see it suffer, especially if we don't have to feel it.
Interesting. On some level, that sense of you are trapped with your own body and you better learn to live with it. Is that part of why some conservatives find trans people to be such a threat?
I mean, I think that in modern America, political conservatism is essentially repressed psychosexual sadism. You don't feel good, so nobody else can. And the only real pleasure you can get out of life is by making sure that nobody else is happy.
Or at least to prove that your experience of the world is the right and best experience of the world.
Right, and must supersede all others.
This is the way life is, and if you can't accept that, we've got to stop you.
Right. And I do think that trans people represent an existential threat to that way of thinking because we're dealt a hand that I think no one would debate is difficult, and so many of us manage to create a life that we want to live out of that.
Here's a video that our head writer, Hallie, wanted to get your reaction to. For those at home, we are now watching a clip of what is apparently a tiny, flat human face made of real living lab-grown cells draped over a resin base, and it is smiling. Let's roll the clip. That's a face made of living human cells. Maybe useful in the cosmetics industry and to help train plastic surgeons. Question, do we need science?
This is great to me. I want to touch that thing. I want to lick it.
That's a horror writer for you. That's a horror writer for you. Now, about horror. Life. It inspires art. Art inspires life. Life begins in a hospital parking lot while a nurse calls a lawyer to see if you're allowed to receive an emergency abortion. Which is why it's time for a game we're calling Little GOP of Horrors, a title that only works visually. Also because it's really, you want to say Little GOP of Horrors. Also known as Drag Me to Congress, aka Dawn of the Red, alternatively 28 bills later. Gretchen, I'm going to read you a log line. You're going to tell us if it describes a cinematic horror from the twisted minds of filmmakers or a real-life horror from the twisted minds of politicians who order their steaks well done and think the Reverend is the hero in Footloose. If it's real, say life. It's fictional, say art. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
A terrifying cult attempts to keep a group of unsuspecting people from leaving a hospital.
That sounds like something Mitch McConnell would do.
It does, but it is art. That's the plot of the 2016 film The Void. Next up, a terrifying cult attempts to keep a group of unsuspecting people from entering a hospital.
That one's Mitch McConnell.
That one's life, yeah. This week, the Supreme Court refused to overturn an Idaho law that would force Idaho women to wait in hospital parking lots, at home, at Starbucks until they become septic or otherwise start dying so that their abortions can be classified as life-saving, thus allowing doctors to perform them. A lower court ruling stands for now, so the law is not in effect. But as Melissa Murray said on Pod Save America this week, it sure seems like the Supreme Court's conservatives dodged the question because they know that abortion motivates voters. After viewing a disturbing and strange video, a woman feels compelled to investigate the film's origins until she realizes the only way to escape her doom is to force someone else to watch it too.
The Ring.
That is art. That is the plot of The Ring. After viewing a disturbing and strange video, a woman feels compelled to investigate the film's origins until she realizes the only way to escape her doom is to force someone else to watch it too.
Oh, that's me listening to those clips you were playing from the debate.
That's right. That's also what happens on TikTok when someone eavesdrops on a stranger on a plane and decides that they're having an affair and decides to put them on blast to the whole world with zero information about any of the people involved, including the wife they are supposedly looking out for, because we are a twisted, judgmental society seeing other people as characters in a drama rather than flesh and blood human beings. Put your goddamn phone down, people. Do you know, have you been following this? People just saying like, I saw people cheating at the fucking airport. I'm going to film it and put it on the internet. You absolute fucking panopticon freaks. Put your goddamn phones down. You Puritan monsters.
Yeah, I haven't heard of this. I'm gay.
I haven't. That's a very funny. I'm sorry. I haven't heard of this. I'm gay. Hired to take care of a storied manor, isolation and professional failure destroys a man's connection to reality until he embraces violence, even against the people closest to him.
The Shining.
That's correct. Hired to take care of a storied manor, isolation and professional failure destroy a man's connection to reality until he embraces violence, even against the people closest to him.
The presidency of Donald Trump.
That's correct. Tried to incite an insurrection. They went after his vice president. Cast out from society into the wilderness, a religious family is tormented by misfortune and fear. It may have been unleashed by supernatural forces, perhaps the
Robert
devil.
Eggers' The Witch.
That is The Witch. Cast out from society and forced to live as a pariah, a once beloved figure descends into madness and confusion, coming to believe he's been trapped by a malign and hidden forces in a, quote, nightmare world.
Is that Trump again?
No, that's Rudy Giuliani.
Oh. He's kind of
descri-
like a Xerox of Trump.
Yes. He literally was overheard saying, "I'm trapped in a nightmare world." Also, there was a story that in his bankruptcy filing, he's apparently buying like $8 polyester ties on Amazon. And my only issue with that is I'm 41 years old. I barely wear suits anymore. I have accumulated so many fucking ties. This is a man who is in his 70s. What on God's earth is happening in his clothing that he is out of fucking ties? My God, the body horror.
You don't want the answer.
We don't want the answer. A woman loves her peaceful neighborhood until she realizes all of her neighbors are in a cult hell-bent on brainwashing young women.
Stepford Wives.
We'll accept it. I think we can accept it. But at 2019's movie 1BR, 1BR.
Oh, yeah, that's a great movie.
1BR.
One bedroom.
One bedroom. A woman loves her peaceful neighborhood until she realizes all of her neighbors are not in a cult hell-bent on brainwashing young women.
Martha? I don't know what this is.
That's right. It's Martha Ann and Samuel Alito. hating their neighbors for having the audacity to care about pride. Vergogna. Vergogna is the Italian word for shame.
Oh, I know. And just like the English word for shame, it has no effect on me.
Thank you, Gretchen. Everybody go check out Cuckoo now wherever you get your books. Thank you so much. That was so great. One more time. That was fun. I love you.